when I let go of the how and just focus on my heart in terms of like focusing more on my overall mission to help people to find their voice, to enable them to chase their dreams authentically, that's when new doors open.
Hey, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, we got a very special friend, a very special guest that you guys all know. His name is William Hung. After his American Idol audition, William Hung's rendition of She Bangs became famous for all the wrong reasons. And despite harsh criticism he endured, William persevered. Having gone on to attract a cult following, releasing 3 albums, and even performing live with Ricky Martin in Las Vegas. He's a motivational speaker and professional optimist. William is proof that the underdog can succeed when you rise above the haters and choose to be happy. William has appeared on media outlets like Fox, ABC, CNN, and NBC, and in such publications as Rolling Stone, Time, and USA Today. He was a guest on Jimmy Kimmel and a guest on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. He uses his experience in entertainment and motivational speaking and is now helping people use video games as a way to build a healthier lifestyle. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, William Hung. Welcome, brother. It is so good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have William Hung. You guys all know him from American Idol. And I just want to say, William, number one, thank you for your time. Number two, I want to just say I really admire your life. I see the entire journey going and seeing you go through American Idol, at parts of the time feeling, really kind of concerned for you, worrying for you, like they're making fun of you. I would love to unpack that, but how you've built your life to be a motivational speaker, speaking on mindset has been truly admirational. I love the vulnerability you demonstrate. So thank you so much for being on the program today, William.
You're welcome.
So I just want to start, who was the William before American Idol? I know you're from Hong Kong originally. Who was he growing up? And what finally made him say, I'm going to audition for this show?
Well, when I was young, I always wanted my own way to excel because I struggled with academics in Hong Kong. I wasn't a great student. So my outlet was video games. Mm-hmm. I was one of the first people to beat Super Mario Brothers from on Nintendo, and I finished top 10 for a local Blockbusters video game competition for Donkey Kong Country. And then in high school, I competed in a math and science trivia competition. I made it all the way to the semifinals, but only to freeze up with the local television cameras. Man, that felt bad. So when I went to college in Berkeley, I thought I would continue to do my best. And then I struggled again with school. So this time I needed to find something different. So one day I saw this poster for a school talent show. And then I said, why not? There's nothing to lose. So I started watching and studying music videos from Ricky Martin's She Bangs. And this time I put myself out there. I did not freeze up. And I won. Then that's what gave me the confidence to audition for American Idol.
Amazing. So it was winning that karaoke competition that put you on the path to American Idol.
Yes.
So you get to American Idol. I remember the audition because, that audition went viral. How did you feel about how you did in the audition? And then I even note that you talked about in your bio here, he became famous for all the wrong reasons. So how did you feel after that audition? And then looking back now, how do you think everybody else looked at you?
It's always going to be a lot of fans, but there are going to be some critics and haters. And I don't feel bad about it because at the end of the day, I cannot please everybody.
Mm-hmm. What was your intention of going on American Idol? Did you feel that, you really had a skill that you wanted to share, that you wanted to win? Did you feel, hey, you know what? I won this karaoke competition. I'm just going to do it for fun anyway. What were your intentions?
My intention is to just go have fun and try something new.
Oh, I see. All right. And you said you became famous for all the wrong reasons. In your words, what does that mean?
Well, initially, when I got famous from my American Idol audition, there were medias and critics writing things like I portray Asian stereotypes. And to this day, even people like Jimmy O Yang and Joe Rogan would criticize me. They would say like Jimmy says like I'm setting back Asians 10 years. Joe Rogan would say something like I'm mentally challenged.
So hearing all of this as you're going through this, number one, it's been like probably a really long time since this has happened. But number two, you've also developed, I would probably say, a very good sense of vulnerability, self-awareness, and mental toughness throughout the time. But how long ago was that American Idol? Now,
How long? 16 years ago. Back
Okay.
in 2004.
Back in 2004. So how were you feeling at the time when you started to get some of those comments coming in?
Well, the most common ones were like, I'm the worst singer ever. I portray stereotypes. I should go back to school, forget about being an entertainer. And it felt bad. It felt terrible. It's like, why would people say that? And I understand where they're coming from. I empathize with them, but I would never apologize for my audition because I believe everyone has a right to try something new.
That is so beautiful. I mean, so when you were doing it at the time, you just wanted to try something new and go out there and have fun.
Yes.
Did you ever grade yourself as a singer or compare yourself to different singers at that time?
The way I see myself is that I see myself as an entertainer. And I would say it's all a matter of perspective. Because you can look at it from a negative lens,
right? And
then you always feel down on yourself. I would never feel that I'm good enough because even if I were to get trained now, I'm not going to be able to measure up to the professional musicians.
Right.
But maybe that is okay. I don't need to be a professional musician. I just need to entertain to my fans, to my audience, so that I can bring happiness to the world.
That's something that I definitely got and resonated was you were just somebody who was always ready to have fun. You know, you didn't care how you looked or how people portrayed you. You were out there just really, really having fun.
Yes.
So, take me back now. As you were going through and you were getting some of these comments in, I noticed you started to get like record deals. Didn't you do a Christmas album?
Yes, I actually got a record deal for 3 albums. So the first album was Inspiration, and that became the #1 independent album on Billboards. Number 2 was Hung for the Holidays, and number 3 was Miracle Happy Summer.
Amazing. So when you were out doing these albums, did you again have an intention? This is going to be fun, or this is going to be my most prized musical possession. What was your thoughts kind of riding this train of fame?
I would say just take it one day at a time. Definitely, it was a very exciting journey. I would never trade that experience for anything else. I'm always grateful no matter what happens from here. That's why I told myself from day one when I got the record deal. I know it's a point of no return. What I mean by that is like my life would never go back to normal because of that. But it's okay, I want to stand out in my own way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, I recently got connected with you over the past couple of years because you started to do a lot of speaking and I started to do some speaking as well. I remember having dinner with you. You started to give me a little bit of coaching. So thank you for that. How did you then start stepping into speaking? What was your desire to do so?
I felt that speaking is more powerful than just entertainment because speaking can make a lifelong impact on a person. I remember one time I spoke in Ottawa, Canada, and after I finished my speech at this real estate conference, there was this Black lady that walked up to me and gave me a hug and said, "Thank you so much, William, for this speech. You just gave me hope and you're giving me light."
That's amazing to be able to I feel the same way when I'm able to create a piece of content. Sometimes you're there looking for likes and you're like, oh my God, and it's such a vanity concept, but to actually get a comment or to actually get just one person reaching out and saying, oh, wow, you shift my perspective on something.
Yes.
That really feels good.
Yes.
Moving on now, what would you say your message is for people? I know did you give like 2 tech talks now?
Yes.
And what would you say is your message, now that you've gone through your journey, what is your message to people?
My message to people is that make sure you chase your own dreams, keep trying new things so that you don't have regrets later on in your life.
That's amazing. This is a health and performance, type of podcast. And let me just ask you, as you were going through, so much of success and albums and things like that, did you ever encounter a lot of stress, like, from maybe the comments you were getting from the haters and things like that? And how did you deal with that?
I don't let those negative comments get to me. I do read them. I am aware of them, but I don't worry about like, next time I speak or next time I perform, there's gotta be somebody throwing tomatoes at me. So I don't think like that.
I see. So that's a great skill to have, but I know so many people that are caught up and sometimes are afraid of taking the next step for fear of being judged.
Yes.
Do you have any practical advice other than, you don't get caught up? Are there practical things that probably people who are trapped with those fears can be able to implement so that it doesn't hold them back?
Yeah, the fear of failure is very, very difficult. Even for me, like I'm not invincible. I'm not superhuman. But I would say what helped me is my strong network of friends. And then what my mom taught me when I was young. She taught me that it's okay to fail as long as you try your best. And that's been my life philosophy ever since.
That's amazing. We also saw, not too long ago, you actually being on stage in Vegas, I believe, with Ricky Martin doing She Bangs. Tell me how that opportunity happened.
Wow, that was incredible. It just happened out of the blue because Ricky Martin did mention he wanted to perform with me 4 to 5 times throughout the last 15 years. But it didn't really happen until 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, he mentioned my name again on a Los Angeles radio station. And then my friends told me to call the radio station right away. And then the radio station connected me with the Ricky Martin's manager, and the rest was history.
This episode of the Thrive State podcast is brought to you by Thrive State MD Immunity Supplement. I actually developed this supplement at the start of the coronavirus pandemic. As some of you may know, I'm a frontline healthcare worker and have worked directly with COVID-19 patients. Some of you may also know that during that time, my fiance was pregnant with my daughter. I had a bonus daughter at home, and I also had elderly parents I needed to protect. I wanted to serve my patients at the highest level while making sure that the people around me were safe. And I couldn't find a product that was out there that actually had quality ingredients at meaningful dosages that would keep my immune system operating at its optimal form. I ended up having to buy supplements from multiple different sources to get the right quality, the right quantity, and the right formulation of an immune product I know would keep me safe. And while I never got sick using that formulation, it costed me hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The Thrive State Immunity Formula is a premium immune formula designed to enhance the body's own natural immune defenses. It is a unique blend of well-researched vitamins, minerals, and medicinal mushrooms, including vitamin C and D3, zinc, quercetin, astragalus, cordyceps, reishi, turkey tail, and beta-glucan. Kaya is now born. She's 2 months old as of the time of this recording. I'm still continuing to serve by treating COVID-19 patients, and I feel really confident about my immune system, applying the techniques outlined in my book, Thrive State, and taking the Thrive State MD Immunity Supplement. If you haven't already, pick up my book at thrivestatebook.com. And if you would like an immunity supplement of your own, the listeners of the Thrive State podcast get 20% off by using the code THRIVE20. Remember, you are your best medicine. Now let's get back to the episode. That's amazing. Was this the first time, performing with that type of audience, with that type of energy, or did you have very similar things? I know you did very similar things even with the American Idol franchise.
Yeah, I perform for big concerts like Wango Tango at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like it brings back those same feelings with thousands of people packed, waiting to see us.
That's amazing. I love the energy that's out there. It's always fun. How do you drop into that? I know so many people in my sphere, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people setting up their own businesses, speakers, authors, coaches that, feel that fear when they step up on stage. You seem to be pretty resilient against that. Is there a way you prep yourself up to get into that mode?
I would say what I do is different, maybe differently, is that I trust my message. I trust my best version of myself. Like even today, before we began this interview, I already know that, like, in terms of how I want to open my stories and my background, is that, I want to integrate gaming into the healthier lifestyle conversation, that's the direction I plan to go. And I trust that, it might not connect with everyone within your audience or my audience, and that is okay.
So that is an amazing drop and an amazing segue to then talk about gaming. So some people will tell me, parents will come up to me like saying that their kids are way too trapped, on the TV screens. Yes. and not moving around. How are you saying this could be healthy? And how are you teaching people to do the same?
Well, video games is just like anything else in life. You could use it for the good or you could use it for the bad. When you spend like 12 hours or more a day glued to video games, it's bad because that means you're not balancing your life. You don't get to go out to exercise. You don't get to rest. You don't get to self-care. That's not good. Of course, I understand where the concern is coming from. But on the other side, video games, I realized that from my recent experience, especially during the pandemic, it gives me a new platform to create that genuine connection with my new fans. It gives me an opportunity to have conversations about the game, about life, build a unique bond based on that.
That's amazing. So what game are you playing now that you're interacting with people? I'm not in the video game world as much, so I don't really understand. But is there a big popular game that's going on that you're connecting?
Yes, absolutely. I would say right now I've been spending a lot of hours with Genshin Impact. It's like a Chinese role-playing game. Pretty much most of my live streams, I'm playing that game.
That's amazing. And so are you walking people through the game, or are you dropping like little life nuggets and life hacks while you're interacting with your fans there?
I mean, I would say my approach is that, I'm not the top player, top technical player in the game at all. And I don't intend it to be. I just want to do it because it's fun. Of course, I talk about the party that I'm using, my daily adventures for the game. But I also talk about how some of the key decisions I'm making in the game. For example, how much money I'm spending on the game or the resources I'm spending. I bring that into my life conversation in terms of how I manage my life as well.
So tell me, the people that you're interacting with, do they know you're William Hung from American Idol? Are they interacting with you from that lens, or are you like somebody completely different in the video game world?
They know who I am. I do want people to know who I am because it's part of my identity. I see myself long term more like a variety streamer. But when it comes to live streaming, it's just like anything else in life. You want to start doing more of what you enjoy first, and then you can do some other things like a virtual concert.
Is that going to be next for you? There's a lot of energy behind the word virtual concert, and you light up as you say that word.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. So my virtual concert will be this Saturday for Christmas. It's completely free. It's a way for me to thank you for all the fans for the incredible support during this last few years when I needed it the most.
Oh, well, we're definitely here to support you. So tell me just a little bit about these last couple of years where you needed support the most? What was going on in your life?
Here's something that people might not know. Like after my first 4 years of living my dream life as an entertainer, traveling all around the world, things slowed down for me, and I had to
Yeah.
make a choice. And I chose the safer choice by taking on a government job. I finished school, and I worked for the public health for 6 years, the sheriff's department for 2 years, and I feel like something is missing in my life. I feel like I'm handcuffing myself. I'm not
Yeah.
achieving my maximum human potential. So that's why I decided to take a chance by building poker as my side hustle. So I gave myself about a year to prove myself that I can do it, and I finally did it as of January this year. I quit my job.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, but then of course, who knew the pandemic would hit like so hard that all the live casinos got shut down, most of the live speaking events got canceled or postponed, and that's when I had to take a step back and then figure out, okay, what else can I do next?
And where do you think the next year or two looks like for you now that it hasn't gone away?
Actually got worse as of this recording. Right now, I live in Los Angeles, and I just got breaking news that they're about to run out of ICU beds. So, yeah, so it's really grim. But in terms of like where I'm going, I never thought this was possible. But earlier this year, someone introduced me to a platform called Cameo. And the idea of Cameo is that I would create these virtual videos, like short videos that combines my singing and my speaking. So it's like 30 to 60-second motivational, entertaining videos for people. And then who knew that that's like my main business now every single day.
That's amazing. How many videos would you say you create a week?
Over 100.
That is amazing. 100 videos.
Yeah.
And what type of advice would you be giving? What would be, of like these 100 videos that you do a week? Would you say that there is one general message or theme that you like to kind of repeat?
Yes, I usually tell people to just do it. It's also one of my somewhat well hidden original song from my third album, because it wasn't as popular back then. And then I also tell people to keep chasing their dreams.
That's amazing. Well, William, I want to thank you so much for your time. I mean, your career path has been so amazing. And the fact that you're vulnerable with each period of your life and being authentic and chasing fun and chasing you and chasing authenticity is what I tell people. That's what you need to get in alignment to be in the best health and performance in your life as well.
Yeah, I agree. I would say one of the biggest lessons that I learned this year specifically is that I would say that we need to let go of the how, because in my mind I was stuck for many years. I was worrying about the how. Am I going to get enough paid performing opportunities? Am I going to get enough keynote speeches? Things like that, right?
Yeah.
Am I going to find the right wife? Whatever.
Are you looking?
Yes, I am still looking. That's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here on the podcast. William Hung is still single and looking for a lady. All right.
Yeah. But the key takeaway is that when I let go of the how and just focus on my heart, in terms of like focusing more on my overall mission to help people to find their voice, to enable them to chase their dreams authentically, that's when new doors open.
That's amazing. That's a great message. And before I get to my last question, where do people find you now?
The best way is just go to my Instagram at williamhung.co. So it's williamhung.co.
Amazing. William, this message is about mindset, health, and about all the different forms of medicine we have. Yeah. Looking back on your life now, what do you think has been your best medicine?
My best medicine, I would definitely say, is my new morning routine. It's something that I'm not consistent before this year, but this year is because of the way the pandemic panned out, because of how people change, how I change. It's like I feel like this is a mandatory thing I do every single day. The first thing I get up is meditation, And then, I would do some gratitude journaling. And those two things are so powerful.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing your medicine. Thank you for sharing your message. Ladies and gentlemen, William Hung. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you're finding this podcast to be valuable, if you're learning a lot, please share it with your friends and family members. And please consider leaving a 5-star review at ratethispodcast.com/ThriveState. That review is really going to help the show grow. And if you haven't already, pick up a copy of my book, Thrive State, at thrivestatebook.com. I would love to connect with you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn at KienVu MD. Remember, you are your best medicine.